Today, equilibrium blasters. What's up everybody? It's time to put on your best cleric outfit and pick out your favorite gun, and we're gonna go shooting with some equilibrium blasters. So, I'm gonna try and keep it short since that's what the consensus is. Equilibrium blasters, what the concept is basically pulling your arms out, initializing a reload, and coming back and being able to blast your opponent. You can do it with a few blasters. One of the earliest ones was the Maverick, I believe. Yes, I have one right here. There you go. With a shoestring, you could actually loop it through to one other one, and then when you pull apart, they would prime and you'd be able to fire them. You can also do so with a strong arm, I believe. Do I have a strong arm? Yes, I do. I have a load of stuff ready. So, the sling point right here could be used, once again, with a shoelace in order to prime it and fire it. We aren't going to do that because it looks kind of shoddy, and, well, I want it to look like it's reloading by itself, so I've implemented a little other thing. So if you want to skip this, you can, because you have a strong arm and some shoelaces. That is an easy way to do this thing, but I want to go a step further, and for that I'm going to be using... There is a small screw right here that is different from all the other screws. So I've removed it. I intentionally remove them. I lose them. I do not want them anymore. And that is going to be the crux of how we are going to be priming it. Notice as it does not have anything to adhere to for our special project. But before that happens, I will show you the two blasters I will be using for our equilibrium. You may have been wondering what that case is behind there. Well, I will show you. So, here you go. These are my two blasters. I don't have names for them because I'm not a weeaboo. I got this case from Harbor Freight, I believe, and it was around $30. Possibly 22. I might have gotten it on sale or on clearance. They might not have these anymore. I have painted them gunmetal just because I like it, and I have shaved off all of the digital camo that was on them. As you can see with it, I have cut out the foam using a Dremel in order to house the little thing right there, and for the other one, same difference. I added an extra little piece of foam that I got from another project I was working on, and I use it to house it in between those two blasters so that they don't jumble around. I find that the bottom one tends to move around a lot, and so I just place this in between it. It nicely sandwiches in between the plucked foam and the egg crate foam, and nothing moves at all. Obviously, first step, remove all three screws and the little screw that are in your priming slide. Now you remove the screws, grab the right piece of the priming slide. We're going to be drilling into the little screw tab right here. And I'm using a 1/16 drill bit. Just go to town, straight inside. If you can see, there you go, you can see right into it. So you're going to do that with both of your blasters. Once you've drilled and cleaned both of the holes, you're going to put the slide back in, but you are not going to house it onto the little pin, nor are you going to put the spring back in. You're going to let them rest outside of it and close it up. And add one screw back into one of its ports. I'm going to be putting it into the frontmost port. Alright, hopefully you're caught up now. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull your slide all the way back. So this is very important because now we're going to be using fishing line instead of shoelaces. Now what you're going to do is measure the length you need in order to prime your blasters at arm's length. So you should be like this, and near the very end you should be fully extended in order to prime the blasters. You want it a little bit shorter just so that you aren't fully extended, because that does get tiring after a while. Although I'm pretty sure all of you want to be like, you know, just all over the place, you know, just like a cleric. But everything in moderation. There's several ways that you can measure. One is you can put the fishing line through your newly made hole and then tape it off, pull it across, put it through the other hole that you have right here, and just place your thumb over it once you've gotten to your full length. So if I were to measure it, I'd pull it straight across and then find out how far it is and then gently drop it to something. I have something actually here at this length that I can see. I can just put it down. Then that'll be your measurement. It's different for everybody because your arms are different lengths and your different heights, and that's proportional to how you are. So one size does not fit all. Another way you can do it is you could just have somebody with a measuring tape right next to you and just measure it straight across. Once you've found your measurement, you're going to add a couple of inches because you are going to tie off one or both ends of your fishing line to the blasters. And why I say one or both is because you can also double up your fishing line. So whatever it is, say it's 4 feet long, you're going to make it 8 feet long and then add 1 or 2 inches for a tie. That way you can go string it once, string it twice, and now it's twice as strong. And then, like I said, with the extra inch, 2 inches for tying. Or you can go through it once, tie at one end, and then go through this once and tie this at one end. What kind of fishing line should you use? I believe it truly doesn't matter. I would go with a 10-pound fishing line. The one I have doesn't have any labels on it. I had it lying around, so I'm using that, and it works pretty well. I've already tested it out with pull tests, and it's just fine. I think 5 would probably be your bare minimum, because there is a lot of pull when you're trying to prime a blaster. You don't realize how much pull you are actually generating when you're priming a blaster, and priming 2 at the same time using the same force, it could possibly break the line, so you want a heavier line. In case you have no idea, what you're probably going to do is get a piece of tape, tape it to a surface, and then pull across, measure with a piece of measuring tape, until you get the exact length that you want. I will get doing that right now, and I won't be recording it because you guys don't like seeing stuff like that. Alrighty, I have my line cut. It's doubled up. There we go. That's almost arm's length, but with the 3 inches of compression that the springs are going to get, it will be further apart, and then we will have liftoff. I've also made a single, which was just 56 inches, which is the length I mentioned earlier. Okay, so say this is in your right hand or whatnot. Then you're going to be going through, we'll say your right blaster. Your right blaster, you're going to go in from the right and go through the left. In your left blaster, then you're going to go in through the right and then go in through the left. Same if you wanted to start with your left blaster. You would go through the left, out the right. The next blaster on your right hand, it will be going in through the left, going through the right, and then loop around, or else it's going to be backwards. So now that you have it threaded, now comes the hard part, tying them together. This is the most difficult part, as I've told you before. because this is extremely slippery. If you are a master tire, a master of knots, then I commend you, because this, I managed to make several knots through a happy accident, and the sun may go down by the time I finish this, and that will be extremely sad. I want to finish this and show you how amazing it is. So until then, intermission, and I will get these tied. So I managed to do it. You can see here, this giant gobbledygook right here. I made a double knot on one side, and well, I made one knot, then I made a knot that went over it and tightened it, and then I went through that hole on the other side and made a double knot on there, and hopefully this stays. So right now we're gonna try it out. So I'm an idiot. I don't know what I did wrong. They only go that far. There, I'm missing at least 2 feet. So now I gotta do it again. I gotta remeasure, figure what the hell I did wrong. It's getting darker, and I'm getting farther. There we go. Now it's tightening. I think I need to quadruple the length, and that will do it. I found out that right here there is 3/4 of an inch, and that's 3/4 of an inch. And if you double the wire, then that makes it 4 3/4 of an inch that you're using up, which made it was like, I couldn't do anything. So that's an extra 3 inches that I did not account for. So it was 4/8 of an inch, and then plus those 3 inches plus an extra 2 inches per tie that you make. So that's because you're doubling up the thing, so it'd be 1 tie for one end to close it off, 1 tie for the other end to close it off, and then 1 to tie them both together. So that's another 6 inches that you're losing. So that's like 9 whole inches more. And I found out that it's 1/4 of the length because you are going around it 4 times. I figured, oh, you're doubling it, you're only doubling it. You know, you're doubling the wire. No, you're going through the whole thing 4 times. So it's a mistake on my part. So I went with 10 feet. So now I have to go with 20 feet, right? Yes. I needed the 4/8, which I'll just jump to 5, then 10 and 20. 5 is 1/4 of 20. So I should go with 20. We'll see how that goes. It's getting super late now. So it turns out it was 20 feet. And it's 1/4 of the size, so it'll be 5 feet, so it'll be perfect. So now I've actually managed to tie everything together. It turned out to be a little bit too long, but that's fine because you can always just grab the loop, the main loop that you have, and then just tie it all 4 together and tie it really tight and adjust it as needed. Having too much is better than having too little. So now what you're going to do is you're going to screw everything back together and replace the spring on there, replace the little catch, and we're going to test it out. Alright, I lost all my light, but we did get finished. So the whole point behind the fishing line is I wanted to give that air of invisibility, and fishing line is translucent, so that's what I went with. So you can see the line, but you can see now that's the another inherent problem, is you have to watch where this wire is going. What you can do is just put little drops of glue on there. No, I don't think so. Oh, this trigger's acting funny. So you can see I just ran my tie all the way over there. I can snip that off eventually. You can just tie it and get tighter and tighter and tighter. So eventually you can do this. Ah, isn't that beautiful? Oh my god, I enjoy it so much. You feel like a real cleric with that. It's so fun double wielding these things, man. Dual wielding. Zombies, beware. I got 12 shots of fury on your ass. Whoosh. I'm going to be doing these to another pair of Cyclone shocks, and then I also have my my shotgun Cyclone shock. So somebody asked, like, what's your loadout? And I said 2 dual-wielded Cyclone shocks and a shotgun Cyclone shock. I am not kidding. This is like my loadout. Like, I am going to be running with this forever because it is so sexy. I think it's the F555 or whatnot on Taobao. They have holsters for these. I will be getting those if I don't make my own. But we're done. We finished it. It only took a few hours of screwing up. It's all my fault. You're supposed to make it a quarter of the size. So 5 feet, you make 20 feet. Oh my god. That slide on that is huge. Oh, it's because the air restrictor. That's right. My air restrictors are amazing. Listen to that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, hey, hit the like button. If you want to see more of this stuff, subscribe, and that lets me know that people actually want to watch more of this. So until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, I have my line cut, have cars going by, and I decided to use I forgot that it's a quarter of the length because you're going... Wow. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, catch you later. Aww.